warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Have a good day, everyone.
So first, let me introduce our group. My name is Monica Ninsia, and these two of my friends,
Sana Sepanson,
Reza Anggraini.
Today we make video for the final assignment in course ICT in language teaching, and we bring the material is about 12 tenses in English grammar. So enjoy the video. Alright guys, now I want to know how far you know about tenses. In here, the word tenses is derived from the Latin word tempus, which means time. A verb indicates the time of an action, event, or condition by the changing its forms. Therefore, tenses tell us when the things happen. Is a category of verbal inflection expressing the time at, during, or over which states or action denoted by verbs occur. Based on the time tense, tense have present tense, past tense, and the last is future tense.
The present continuous is formed with the auxiliary verb be. In the form is are because of the present tense and the present participle in. Mula, subject is or are plus verb plus in. Example, he is helping needy persons. Verbs are usually not found in this present continuous tense perception, and they are love, believe, forget, break, understand, prefer, like, hate, like, see, etc. Form of the verb to express fact, habits, or events that are happening now. Simple present tense used for an action which happens every year, every month, every week, every day, every time, etc. Interrogative forms: do I make revision every day? Negative form: I don't make revision every day. Verb that is used to state that an action will occur in the future, spontaneous or planned. Simple future tense used to express an action which will take place at some time in the future or what we'll expect to happen future time. Example, I will come home soonly. Shall I come home soonly? I will not come home surely. Simple past tense: the time of incident years last 2 days last year, or the time period for 2 months, for a day, for an hour, can be specific. Simple past tense used to denote an action which happened at some time in the past or for state of being past. Subject plus verb plus object.
5 is past continuous tense. In here, we use the past simple to talk about action and stage which was just complete in the past. The form is subject plus was or were plus verb ing. For the example, in 1990, few people were using mobile phones, and she was talking too loudly when the principal. 6. Present perfect tense. Present perfect tense is used to express an action which began at some times in the past and has been complete in the past, but which is connected at present time. The form is subject plus has have plus verb past participle. But remember, this is the British and American English have the different rule for the use of these tenses. The explanation and exercise here refer to British English. In American English, it is often acceptable to use the past simple in the sum of this example, but it's also used an action which recently had been complete. For the example of this tense is David has just succeeded the president election. And next is present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense is used to denote an action which started at some times in the past and still continuing. The form is subject plus had been and have been plus verb ing. But remember, this tenses is used to talk about an action or action that started in the past and continued until the recently or that continue into the future. For the example, she has been dancing the theater all the day. Next, past perfect tense. It is used to event. In the past, we use past perfect for the event completed earlier and simple past for the latter. The form is subject, head, verbs, and participle. For the example, she broke the window. I want to kill her. Maybe that she broke the window at 8 p.m. Then you want to kill afterwards. When we compare this statement, we will use the past perfect tense. For the event complete, first simple past for the later event. And the next example is, we returned to London when we had finished our journey. 9. Past perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous tense is a tense or verb formed to express an action or an event that was started and is going in the past but is no longer happening now. We use past perfect continuous tense to look back at the situation in progress. In essence, the past perfect continuous tense is used to tell an event or action that started in the past, happened in the past, and also finished in the period of time in the past. And in this tense, had from subject plus had been and plus verb in. For example, they said they had been shopping. 10. Future continuous tense. Previously, let's throw back a little about the simple future tense. Anyone still remember the meaning? As a reminder, and the simple future tense is one of the simple tense that is used to talk about a future condition. Apart of that, there is also a continuous which function to express ongoing action at a certain time. This tense is used for an action progress at the some time in the future. And this tense had from subject plus will plus verb in. For example, we shall be leaving few days later. Next, 8. Future perfect tense. Future perfect tense is a tense or verb change to express an event or state something that is predicted to have happened, even finished in the future. So, at the same time, it is talked about there is an action that has not been completed or has not taken a place at all. If report from the Grammarly, the future perfect tense can also be interpreted as a tense that talk about an action that will be completed between now and some point in the future. Future perfect tense is used for an action which is expected to be completed by certain point in the future times. And in this tense, had from subject plus will or shall or we or have plus verb in. And for example, by the next year, I shall have married Mr. Sweetheart. And the last one is conditional sentence. What is conditional sentence? Conditional sentence means prepositional sentence. This sentence can be used to express cause and effect, the possibility of something happening, or to express assumption about things that are actually impossible to happen. And in conditional sentence have two parts. The first one is if clause and main clause. In conditional sentence also have 4 types of conditional. The first one is type 0, type 1, type 2, and the type 3. In conditional sentence type 0, sentence type 0 is used to state the cause and effect of a fact that is generally known to be true. And in conditional sentence type 1 is used to express something that is very likely to happen in the future if we do something. Next, to the conditional sentence type 2, in this conditional sentence use used to express something that is unrealistic or very unlikely to happen. Therefore, this type is suitable for expressing our wishes. Okay, we move to the last conditional sentence, that is conditional sentence type 3. And this type is used to convey assumption about events that have occurred in the past because the reality has already happened and cannot be changed anymore. We can only express what supposition will happen if the incident goes differently from reality. And one of the example of conditional sentence is if you come on time, she will talk to you.